Sign up for free Stratfor Intelligence. Simply enter your email address to receive 2 free reports each week.
It was announced on Wednesday that after having spent 782 days in an Iranian prison, the 2 remaining American hikers were released on a $1 million bail. The delay over the hiker release exposed the depth of the Iranian power struggle. But the release may be one small sign that Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad still carries a great deal of authority when it comes to driving Iran's foreign policy. The Iranian power struggle is often exaggerated by mostly Western commentators, who often describe the constant bickering between the Iranian president and his rivals as a sign of the regime cracking under pressure, and that it's only a matter of time before pro-democracy protesters are able to overwhelm a weakening clerical regime. At Stratfor, we see things a bit differently. There's no denying that there is a serious power struggle in Iran, and signs of that can be seen every day. Most recently, when the Iranian judiciary, controlled by the president's biggest rivals, basically embarrassed Ahmadinejad in delaying the hiker release after Ahmadinejad publicly announced that they would be released. But it's important to understand the core dynamics underlying this power struggle. A rising political faction so far led by Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad charges the corrupted clerical elite of betraying the revolution and for ignoring the demands of the poor. The most striking aspect of this power struggle is not that a firebrand leader is getting ganged up on by the country's most senior clerics, but the fact that such a leader would not be attacking the clerical establishment in the first place if that establishment wasn't already seen as weakening and undergoing a crisis in legitimacy. Ahmadinejad, after all, is just a politician in the end. The far more important thing to understand is the faction that he represents and the growing delegitimization of the country's corrupted clerical elite. This is a long-term process, though. The clerical establishment still has a great deal of institutional strength, and they've used that strength to constrain Ahmadinejad quite well. However, with time, the discrediting of the clerical elite is likely to create an opening for the military, as opposed to pro-democracy groups, to fill a vacuum within the regime. That's why it's extremely important to watch the evolution of the IRGC, already a major military and economic force in the state and now an increasingly influential voice in Iranian politics. The more immediate question that we're asking ourselves is whether this Iranian power struggle is going to distract Iran from meeting its core geopolitical imperatives in Iraq. Clearly, a power vacuum is opening in Iraq with the withdrawal of U.S. forces, and this represents a historical opportunity for the Iranians. The next step for Iran is not only to consolidate influence in Iraq, but to shape a realignment of Arab interests in the region that, at least in the short term, favor Iranian interests. A big part of this effort will entail driving the United States toward an accommodation with Iran while Iran still feels like it has the upper hand. This is something that Ahmadinejad has actually tried to do, but has been held back by his rivals as they've been trying to deny the president a major foreign policy coup. There's no guarantee of success for Iran in this wider initiative, as this is going to take a great deal of focus and strategy in the coming months. Given that we can also expect the level of internal turmoil in Iran to increase in the coming months, we're going to have to watch very closely to see if Iran can contain its problems at home while it keeps its eye on the bigger prize in Iraq and the wider region.